Greetings from Titan Field here in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. High school football is once again on the air here on our Fox Communities Credit Union video stream game of the week. I'm Joey D alongside my broadcast partner, Coach Dinsey, and tonight we've got another doubleheader for you. At least eight quarters of football ahead here in week number 7 already of the high school football season. First up, we've got the Hortonville Polar Bears here in town to take on the Oshkosh North Spartans. Hortonville, as you see, coming in 4-1 or 5-1 overall, 4-1 in conference play in this VFA South, as they are tied with Fond du Lac. Oshkosh North still searching for that first victory. They are 0-6 overall, 0-5 in league play. Had a chance to catch up with both of the head coaches, both Tom Colasso and also Justin Barra from Oshkosh North. You will hear those and see those coming up next as we continue on our video stream games of the week.
Make fenced-in yard happen. Make two-story in town happen. Or ranch in the country happen. Definitely make 2 bathrooms happen. With Fox, make we can afford that one happen. When it's time to decide on your dream home, Fox helps you make life happen. Visit one of 22 Fox locations or apply online today so you can make this is the one happen.
Fox Communities.
A century is made up of minutes, but more importantly, of moments. Moments of hard work, dedication, challenges, and triumphs. From Myron Construction, the past 100 years were built by the steady hands of tradespeople who laid a strong foundation and continues to thrive because of our passionate team members. As we close this significant chapter of our history, our sights are set on what we will accomplish together in the years to come, because together we'll continue building excellence.
Back here on the high school pregame show tonight and doing some coaches talk with Hortonville coach Tom Colasso. And Coach, pretty good season so far as we head into the final portion of it. Just the one loss. What happened in that one loss that you remember?
Yeah, we started real slow, and we're trying to make that an emphasis of ours, come out and start faster. We dug a big hole in that game. We're down 35-7 at one point, and proud of the fact we came back and rattled off 21 unanswered, cut it to 7 in the fourth quarter, but weren't able to come all the way back. But too slow a start. We weren't ready to match their level of play in the first half of that game.
Nice bounce back with a win last week, though.
Yeah, no, I was happy how we responded. A little adversity last week, a lot of penalties, a lot up and down. But Oshkosh West is a good team. They lost their QB halfway through the game there, and then that hurt them a little bit. But we definitely got tested and back and forth, and we played right up to the fourth quarter there, and it was nice to separate at the end and get a win.
The other Oshkosh team here tonight, North. What are you expecting?
Yeah, I tell you what, you look at the scores and you look at everything this year, they're a much better football team than what they've been, and they're trending in the right direction. Been really impressed with their defense. I think they're very physical up front. You look at some of their scores, especially early on. Scores that might have been 30, 40 points, and they're holding teams to 2 or 3 scores early on. So that was the first thing that jumped off. Really impressed with their improvement on defense. I think we got our hands full up front with them tonight. And there's a team, they're still looking to put it all together. But they got some talented players. But I think from watching over the last couple of years, they're definitely trending in the right direction.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
There he goes. More of the pregame show coming up right after this.
When you're looking for a cutting-edge local company to produce your creative screen-printed or embroidered apparel for your business or team, Creative Imprint in Neenah is that company. Their experienced staff can bring all your ideas to life. They make you part of the experience with their online designing tool that allows customers to design their own t-shirts. That's how they make you part of the experience. Design your t-shirt and place your order online at creativeimprintapparel.com. Experience the difference.
I'm Tom Julian from the Julian Strategic Alliance Group. I'm inviting you to have my team help you develop your personal, estate, and business planning goals. Let us put together comprehensive financial strategies for your success in every season of your life. Contact us today to get started. We're right on the CE Trail in Kimberly. We can help you establish retirement income goals, work with you on your asset protection allocation, and guide you on future income growth strategies. I would like to meet with you to begin the conversation. Call us. Let's get started.
All right. right, so we are all just about ready to go here for our game. A little bit earlier than expected here this evening. Back here at Titan Stadium, though, Joey D alongside Coach John Dinsey. And let's bring you in right now, Coach Oshkosh North, Hortonville. What are you expecting here this evening before kickoff here in a couple of seconds?
Well, I think for everyone coming into the game, you see, a team that hasn't won a game and a team that right now their only loss is to a really good Fond du Lac team. So, anytime you have on paper a mismatch of records, you want the team that's looking for their first win. They want to have good things happen for them. They want to have, win the turnover battle, be able to run the ball. And North has played well pretty much defensively all year. So, a lot of things have to happen right for North against a really talented Hortonville team for them to pull a win out.
And the opening kickoff is taken by Lashad Connor for Oshkosh North, and they will start the opening drive of the game on their own 19-yard line. Just underway here.
Yeah, Joey, and I think when we were going through pregame, the thing that was very evident is you're going to see new players, and they've had players throughout the year play different positions for North because they've battled injuries, they're battling a variety of different things as they're trying to really still find their identity.
So it'll be 1st and 10 on their own 19-yard line. And the quarterback, Ethan Tesmer, 6'5", 205-pound senior, and he is taken down in the backfield for a sack. He had absolutely nowhere to go, Coach.
Yeah, and that's one of those new players that Coach Wera mentioned to us, right, was Ethan Tesmer, when we saw him week 1 against Kaukauna, is playing tight end and defensive end. He is now the 5th different player they've played at quarterback this year. Big, strong, tall, talented kid, basketball player, senior. But you could tell on that read, you could see the inexperience. I mean, that's a ball that he's got to give to the back. There's 2 edge players that defended him on the keep. That's a ball that's got to be in the running back's belly.
Still searching for that first victory of the year. How hungry are you at this time of year when you still got that 0 in that W
man,
column?
It's tough.
Given the backfield and taken down again, the swarming defense by the Hortonville Polar Bears, and he went absolutely nowhere. That's Stephen Kempfer. He is their leading rusher on the year coming in, averaging, he's got 159 yards.
Well, and the hard thing is when you're rebuilding a program like Coach Wera is, and you're trying players at different positions, there's just no weeks off in this conference. So as you're trying to find yourself or get things going, you run into Hortonville, and defensively, we're going to be talking about a variety of different players, but you've seen them, Dylan Schmidt, Trevor Balboa, already on 2 plays in the backfield making tackles.
Coach Wera sending in the signals, and now backing up right on the goal line is Tesmer. Try and get something going right up the middle. And that is Landon Spenbauer, their second leading rusher with 149 yards. So we'll see a lot of Kempfer and Spenbauer tonight as far as the running backs.
Yeah, and for Coach Wera, again, it's keeping your players engaged, energized, and continue to work the game plan. I mean, that's a play where they get a little bit of movement up front, and maybe that's a little bit bigger game, but on 3rd and long, you need positive plays.
3 and out right away by Oshkosh North, and Hortonville will get very good field position here on their first possession of the game. Let's take a look at the Hortonville schedule so far this year as they come in. Just that one loss to Fond du Lac, 42-28. Other than that, nothing but W's. Nice bounce back win last week.
Yeah, and what stands out is offensively they're absolutely loaded. Their skill position players are really good. Obviously, Kyle Allen really drives it all at quarterback. You are going to see a lot of number 12, and he is a very talented player.
First snap offensively for them. Spun down is Hunter Strange, 5'8" and a sophomore. They got Strange and Concepcion there in the backfield leading the way for them. Strange averaging about 45 yards a game. This time back to pass is Allen. All kinds of time. And he's got a guy on the near sideline. That is complete to Parker Lawrence for a big-time game.
Yeah, and that's one of those weapons. I mean, when you look out, they play tempo. They don't huddle. They move really quick. Concepcion actually lined up at wide receiver as they put trips into the boundary. And when you don't get pressure on the quarterback, things like that happen. It's just a broken play that the receiver works back to the ball. Big gain. First down, Hortonville.
That puts Lawrence up over near 500 yards now receiving on the season. Wide open near the end zone. It is caught at the 3, and then he is swarmed down, but
yeah, that's
again, no
Concepcion.
coverage there, way down on the other side of the field.
Yeah, so Concepcion lines up at slot wide receiver. They run him on a corner route to that front pylon and just really moves the safety with his eyes, and he's wide open. Wide open, big gain. Inside the 3-yard line here, Joey, trying to get that first touchdown relatively quick here in the first quarter.
Hortonville on the move, just a couple of plays into their first possession. Allen, that shotgun formation, a handoff to Strange. Did he dive in? It's going to be close. No signal yet for a touchdown, so I think he's going to be on about the 2-inch line here. It'll be 2nd and goal for Hortonville.
Joey, the play that North ran on 3rd down, was a split zone or a lead zone type play. And it's really the same thing that Hortonville ran there. The difference you see is you can see the size up front on the Hortonville line. You see the movement that they're getting. Those are 3-4 yard gains instead of 1 yard gains.
2nd down and goal inside the 1. Stuffed right at the goal line was Strange. They were ready for that one.
Yeah, great job by the edge players. So the overhangs and what's basically a 6-man front right now is a goal line front, just bending down off the tackles and making the tackle in the backfield. A lot of movement in the middle, but if you don't contain the edge, it's not going to really matter.
So it's going to be 3rd down and goal. Again, inside the 1.
If those ends keep pinching in like that and bending down off that down block, the quarterback's going to have the ability to keep it.
Back to pass. And
So
calling his own number, and he passes right before he gets to the line of scrimmage. They're going to say touchdown, Hortonville. What a move right at the last second, and it is complete to Parker Lawrence. A touchdown for Hortonville, and they are on the board.
Yeah,
what a move.
It was really, really creative, good quarterback play. And again, we're going to talk about Kyle Allen a lot tonight. But again, what you saw is the ability to get outside there. And the last play with how the ends are playing for North, they were going to be able to break contain, which they did.
And so the extra point team is on. After the quick first drive by Hortonville. Low snap. And it is up and good. 6:57 left to play here in this first quarter. It is 7-0 now. Hortonville will take our first timeout. Come back to Oshkosh right after this.
The projects we construct afford us the opportunity to help those in need. The projects we construct afford us the opportunity to help those in need in more ways than one. And the momentum we create as a team allows us to make an impact greater than any one of us can achieve on our own. We are part of the community. We are where we live. We are Myron Construction.
Back here in Oshkosh, the quick strike by Hortonville puts them up 7-0 on our Fox Communities Credit Union video stream game of the week. Hard to believe, week number 7 already of high school football, and things going well for Hortonville here to start the game. That one taken at about the 17-yard line. Nice little breakaway. Had a little bit of running room, but taken down was Holland Sayas, 6 foot, 170-pound sophomore, and Oshkosh North comes out for the second time, and they'll mark it on the 32-yard line.
Yeah, just a pooch kick by Hortonville. Found a spot in the middle of the return, but forgot to tackle the guy that had the ball right away. So he gets a decent return. They're up to about the 32-yard line. Good field position.
Nice little screen pass right out front and gained a couple of yards. But he's 6'5", but still had to kind of hop to get it over some of those big guys up front for Hortonville.
Yeah, middle screen by the slot receiver. They flare basically both tailbacks to try to pull people out of the box. And the slot receiver comes underneath. Nice little catch and run for about 6 yards. So again, sometimes when you're not able to run the ball because you don't get movement, the best way, to move the ball on first down and to make up for that run game is your short passing game.
Again, in at quarterback is Ethan Tesmer. Tesmer actually a receiver, but that's what's the way that the season has gone here for Oshkosh North. They are deep into the quarterback depth chart, and a handoff there stuffed, and going backwards was Kempfer for a loss. It'll be third down and long here for North.
Yeah, and Joey, coaches are always gonna tell you they want to run the ball, and we have to establish the run. And early in this game, obviously North is committed to that, but the fronts just don't match up. North's front is not going to match up against Hortonville's defensive front very well. So, again, that short passing game and moving the ball in other ways is going to be really critical for North to stay in this game.
A lot of time in between plays again. Third down and 7. Right on the 35. This time we give to Spanbauer. Looking for some room on that left side. Found a yard or two, but it's, again, going to be a 3 and out for the Spartans.
Yeah, and a little bit different there, right? So that run is more of an outside run. It's more of an outside zone versus an inside zone play or a lead zone play. And you saw little seam that Spanbauer is a smaller back he can get through, and it's a good positive run. Now, again, the negative play on second down is what puts them in a position that they got to punt again. So positive plays, 3-4 yards at a time. That has to be Coach Ware's focus, and he's got to stay patient today. And clearly continue to run the clock down.
Yeah.
And manage time of possession.
Exactly.
Ooh, almost blocked.
Nice punt. The wind behind him. I still haven't heard a whistle. Is that a live ball?
Now, North touched it and batted it forward.
All right.
So until Hortonville either has to walk away from the ball, basically, or down it, so the ref's just going to call for it.
And he marks it at the 34-yard line, and Hortonville back out second time here on offense. Scored relatively easy on their first drive, up 7-0 after the 1-yard touchdown pass. It wasn't even a 1 yard, and it wasn't even a pass.
It was
from Allen to Lawrence. It's an interesting play.
Little chest pass.
You have to look back at the replay here of our video stream to check that out. Allen has a man in the flat. He's open. Spin move to Concepcion out of the backfield across midfield. A big-time gain into Spartans territory.
Yeah, so that's that split zone look this time. Concepcion lines up on the right side as a wing player, and on the play fake to the tailback, he becomes the flat player on the boot. So he sprints basically to where the left tackle is, releases into the flat. There's no overhang there. Even on this possession, there's no one there to really defend him.
This time banging his way for another big-time pickup. That is Strange.
Yeah, very patient run there by Strange. They run power, they pull the guard, Concepcion leads, and North did a great job of bottling it up inside, but as the defenders kind of bounce and there's a mess there, Strange is just patient enough to find the seam as everything starts to clean up. Very patient run.
And goes in motion. And off to work left side again, diving across for the first down. And a few more again. That is Hunter Strange, the sophomore.
Yeah, again, nice lead block by Concepcion. They motion him right off the edge of the left tackle and run him basically on a lead zone play. Good block to open up the seam to get a nice gain and a first down.
3 receivers this time. Concepcion in motion. Allen back to pass. He's got Concepcion, who was in motion. Still on his feet and diving for it. He's going to be near another first down. But how about Jose Concepcion, 5'11", 200-pounder. He's tough to bring down.
Yeah, I mean, as the season, as we got ready for the season, one of the players we knew, there was a penalty on the play. Looks like face mask on Oshkosh North. The player that they really talked about in the preseason preview for Hortonville was Concepcion. And last year, I think he played primarily tailback. I mean, he was their feature guy, and you can see he looks a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger, definitely more versatile. I mean, you're seeing him as a lead blocker. You're seeing him line up at receiver. You're seeing him come out of the backfield. And truthfully, on the beginning of that play, he's covered really well. But he just runs away from the defender and makes a guy miss and gets 10 yards on a catch out of the backfield.
Give to Strange again. He'll run it right up the hashtags, or the hash marks there, and another positive gain for Hunter Strange, their second leading rusher coming into the game. Only had 134 yards. He might approach that here in the first half.
Yeah, and Coach, it was interesting because I was down on the field prior to the game, and Coach Hughes, who is one of their offensive assistants, mentioned to me that Concepcion was going to play more at receiver today. And as we were getting ready for the game, I mean, I just assumed they were going to hand it to him 30 times in this game. But they're really playing him all over the place. I mean, again, on that play, he's lead blocking almost as a fullback. There he's in motion again and releases to the flat.
Play action, and he's got it into the end zone. Touchdown, Hortonville. 2 possessions, 2 touchdowns for the Polar Bears.
Joey, on any sort of play action, right? So if you're simulating a play or a run action, you see it a lot now as RPOs, so run pass options. If you're coming out of the backfield as the back and you can show your hands like you're going to block and then release, which is exactly what Concepcion did, really that defender doesn't know what to do. And really should probably widen with you and cover you, but he didn't. And he was wide open in the flat as a result.
High snap, but brought down and through the uprights. And with under 2 minutes left to play here in this first quarter, it is 14-0 Hortonville. Take a quick timeout, come back to Oshkosh right after this.
Are you looking to make your dream home happen? Make stop searching and searching happen. You could make that fenced-in yard happen and make that bigger bathroom finally happen. It's time to make your home transformation happen with a home equity loan or line of credit from Fox. Apply online right now or visit one of 22 Fox locations to get the money you need and make life happen.
Fox Communities Credit Union.
Bringing it back here to UW-Oshkosh and Titan Stadium, where Hortonville has marched down the field twice in a row now to take a 14-0 lead on homesteading here Oshkosh North. North still looking for that first win overall. Hortonville with a little pooch kick here. It's still alive and diving on it. On a hands team, and Hortonville successful in the onside kick. Francis O'Connor.
The kicker got it, Joey.
5'8", 145-pound junior, and he was all over that one. That was executed almost to perfection, Coach.
Joey, that's my favorite play in football right there. As a former special teams coordinator, I'm almost tearing up right now. That's amazing.
It's all right.
Stout
need some water?
Stout used to do that all the time. They'd sprint up to the ball, and they never did it. They never ran the surprise onside. That's what I love about high school. They'll just risk it. Go for it.
So they'll start on the North 41-yard line.
Trying to put them away early. Uh-oh.
Allen with the bomb.
No
and
way.
threaded the needle. Incomplete pass. I thought he had a Jaquan Owens. It right in between 2 defenders.
Number one, if you're the coach on the sideline, you're wondering why is he throwing that ball. But where he put that ball and made the receiver run to it, it was absolutely undefensible. You think he's throwing into double coverage, Joey, but where he put the ball, no one's going to defend that.
Owens, 7 touchdowns, leads the team in receiving touchdowns. Almost was near an eighth right there.
One of their many, many weapons. Big run, big hole.
Hunter Strange up to the 30-yard line before he is stopped, and they'll move the chains. The tackle made by Brendan Crumry.
Yeah, so what you're seeing right now is when Concepcion lines up at that fullback spot and he blocks off the edge, their main running play that they're running is a one-back power, so they're pulling that guard. And when that guard gets to the inside backer, honestly, North just doesn't have enough guys in the box to defend that play. There it is again.
Little jump pass again inside the red zone. And again, Crumry there for the tackle, but they are moving this football all 3 times that they have had it so far.
Joey, as a D coordinator, you got to pick your poison right now. I mean, they are lined up basically with Concepcion lined up as a fullback. You're almost in a 2-by-2 look. So you want the defense to be even. It would be like a 4-4 look. So now what you see is really the only way they can defend this.
Strange stopped right there at the line of scrimmage, kept his feet going though, might have gained an extra yard or 2.
Yeah, so you see the adjustment that they make. It's basically an 8-man box against a spread look. And it works because the high safety is playing over the number 2 receiver. Now, the challenge is going to be if they play action here. If they play action, Hortonville, if they can protect, you got one-on-ones everywhere. So this is kind of the cat and mouse game, that happens between coordinators offensively and defensively right now. You look at the front now again, you see 2 high safeties. So you're basically in a 7-man box.
Back to pass. Almost intercepted there, or at least knocked down, but somehow, some way, Concepcion comes up with it. Ends up being a loss.
Yeah, great play by Aaron Gudemuth.
Well, that's going to do it for quarter number 1. All Hortonville so far, 14-0. We'll take a timeout, come back to Oshkosh after this on the Fox Communities Credit Union video stream game of the week.
When you're looking for a cutting-edge local company to produce your creative screen-printed or embroidered apparel for your business or team, Creative Imprint in Neenah is that company. Their experienced staff can bring all your ideas to life. They make you part of the experience with their online designing tool that allows customers to design their own t-shirts. That's how they make you part of the experience. Design your t-shirt and place your order online at creativeimprintapparel.com. Experience the difference.
Slow walk to the other end of the field back here in Oshkosh. Joey D alongside Coach John Dinsey. 14-0 Hortonville, and they are knocking on the door again to start this second quarter. Knocked down right as he threw, jumping up somehow, coming down with the pass. Caught by T.J. Payne. Touchdown Hortonville.
Joey, I don't know what in the world happened on that play, but T.J. Payne basically was wide open the entire play. And honestly, that's covering the number 3 receiver here that wheeled almost ends up making an interception because the ball gets thrown a little bit later as Allen had a break contained. But I'm telling you, Allen's arm, his ability to move the pocket, everything we've heard about him is true. I mean, he is a really good quarterback.
Extra point is good. So just like that, 10 seconds into quarter number 2, and it's a 3-score game, 21-0 Hortonville. We'll take a quick timeout, come back to Oshkosh right after this.
I'm Tom Julian from the Julian Strategic Alliance Group. I'm inviting you to have my team help you develop your personal, estate, and business planning goals. Let us put together comprehensive financial strategies for your success in every season of your life. Contact us today to get started. We're right on the CE Trail in Kimberly. We can help you establish retirement income goals, work with you on your asset protection allocation, and guide you on future income growth strategies. I would like to meet with you to begin the conversation. Call us. Let's get started.
Beautiful Friday evening in Oshkosh for some more high school football. We've got not one but two games for you here this evening. And game number one, it has been all Hortonville so far in the first quarter and in the first 12 minutes and 10 seconds of this contest, as they're up 21-0. Do we see another onside kick here?
And they just backed off.
Oh, okay.
So, and again, truthfully, North is in a five-man front. They didn't move their second line up. They probably could have ran it again.
That one bounces at the 15-yard line, picked up there. Finding a little bit of a hole. Cross out to about the 27-yard line. That's where North will see it for only the third time here. The first two times they were 3 and out.
Joey, it's 21-0. You have an 0-6 team against a 5-1 team, and it's hard not to look ahead and say we're in week 7 and we're getting ready for the playoffs, right? So as we're looking at Hortonville, you see a really talented team. Offensively, the Valley is filled with teams that are good, especially at the skill positions, but I don't think Hortonville can compete with all of them. But you've seen a little bit of life for North in a couple of things, and that's what they got to capitalize on the rest of the game. Oh, boy.
Tesmer is downed by Dawson Hanson, a leading defender, a 6-foot senior for Hortonville. Wraps him up and takes him down. He just had no time at all.
Hey, Joey, I'm trying to be positive, but, if you don't block that guy, you're going to have too many negative plays. So, again, it's, defensive end against an offensive tackle. It's one of the beauties of football is you can design whatever play you want, but if you lose that one-on-one, plays are designed to work when your X's beat your O's.
So it is second down and 21. Try and run the ball, but stuffed right there.
Yeah, you saw that lead zone again, lead inside zone, out of two back, out of shotgun. And just not a lot of movement up front. I mean, maybe a yard on the play.
So it is third and long. They'll still say, third and 19. So gained a couple on that play. And again, trying to get out of pressure. Probably should have just thrown that one away. That's probably the inexperience showing there of Ethan Tesmer of being a quarterback, because it's not really his position.
Yeah, I mean, Joey, it's a sprint out, so they're trying to shorten the field, make the throw easier for him. There's a penalty on the play, though.
It goes on Hortonville.
Yeah, I was going to say, it was thrown right away by the side judge there. So North is going to get another play, but, if you can make easier throws like that for an inexperienced quarterback, you can make his life a little bit easier, right? But the out route by the slot receiver was covered. Receiver really shut down his route, didn't try to get open after that. And the number one receiver, I don't know if he was running a clear or what he was doing, but they were both covered. So it doesn't really matter if you try to get the quarterback an easier throw if people can't get open.
So they'll move it up, and it'll be third and 14 on the 23-yard line. See if North can do anything with this yardage they were just given. A little lofty pass across the middle, almost picked off. That was intended for his leading receiver, Brendan Crumry, but broken up. There were a couple of white jerseys there. And it'll be fourth down.
Yeah, Hortonville blitzed on that play. Inside linebacker did a great job of beating a block by the running back and put pressure on Tesmer. I think Tesmer would have preferred to put a little bit more on that ball, but he had to get rid of it before he was really ready. Someone jumped.
Yeah, there's all kinds of jumping going on that right side of the defensive line, the left side of the offensive line. Surprised the near referee didn't throw anything. The other side is the guy that threw the flag.
Yeah, false start. I was going to say it's false start on a bunch of people. So wherever they want to call this.
Second penalty on Oshkosh North. We'll give those 5 yards right back that they just gained. So it'll be fourth down.
Such a tough
at
spot.
19, yeah. Coming through with the pressure almost. Got a hand on it. Fair catch is made. And really good field position. Catch made by Lawrence at the 42-yard line is where they will mark it. And for the fourth time, we'll see if they can make it 4 for 4. They scored on their first 3 possessions here this evening.
Yeah, and they've had short fields every single time. I mean, the defense has done a great job of having negative plays pretty much every drive to back up north, and they haven't been able to turn the field position with their kicking game. So against a really talented Hortonville team, I would want them to drive as long as they have to.
Give to Concepcion. And he is wrapped up just across the 40-yard line, taken down by Kyle Jung.
Yeah, a little bit different look there. That Dylan Schmidt came in, who's a really good defender for them as an inside linebacker, and is really playing that fullback role that Concepcion was playing, and Concepcion's back to tailback. So, you know, the big lead like this, I mean, they might be just committing to the run the rest of the way.
Indeed, looking for that lead blocker again as Concepcion still on his feet.
Yeah,
but the forward progress will put him out about the 37-yard line.
And Joey, they're really lucky on that play as the lead blocker there, the fullback, again, number 33, Dylan Schmidt, was moving forward before the ball was snapped. So they're lucky that nothing was called on that play.
So it's third down, 3rd and 6.
It's an interesting look. They got a bunch trips to the bottom of the screen here with the fullback leading it. So to me, I'd look there and I'd say they're throwing a screen.
Whistle. Timeout is called, and Coach Ware wants to talk this one over. Could be a big defensive stop here if they can come up with one. Time to give us a chance to thank all of our fine sponsors of high school football and basketball all season long. Our Fox Communities Credit Union video stream games of the week tonight, because we've got another one for you after this. But Fox Communities Credit Union, Myron Construction, Creative Imprint, and Julian Strategic Alliance Group. We mentioned we do have another game coming up right after this one. It is Cambria Friesland, the Hilltoppers, coming in at 3-3 overall, 1-1 in league play against Lourdes, 6-0, 2-0. We saw them a couple of weeks ago.
It was like watching Hortonville. I mean,
skill
position, skill position.
Very good comparison.
You know, Joey, honestly, all the games we've done so far this year, I feel like the teams we've seen, the skill position players are so good right now.
Big third down for Hortonville. Allen is hit and connects on the far sideline with his receiver, Jaquan Owens, and that's going to be good for another first down. Move the chains. So the timeout did not work there for North. Whatever was said by Coach Colasso worked.
You know, they do a great job. I mean, Kyle Allen takes the one-on-one to the backside, and truthfully, Hortonville, if you don't get pressure on him, and on that play they did, if you don't get pressure on him right away, the receivers for Hortonville are going to win one-on-ones tonight. I mean, that's just a reality of it. So you got to get early pressure. Big run.
10 on the 26. Concepcion inside the 20 before he is wrapped up by Sam Shamans. But again, another long run and first down for Hortonville.
Yeah, a little bit different look this time. Dylan Schmidt again in motion. We've seen that a couple of times. But the tackle blocks out and he leads almost like an inside zone or a lead zone ISO type play. Not something we've really seen a ton from Hortonville yet, but a really good run play, downhill run play. Again, it looks a little bit, though, like Schmidt's moving forward in his motion, but the refs aren't going to call it. Oop.
A lot of movement on the defensive side. Was he drawn off, or did he jump?
Yeah, I think he made contact, Joey.
Looked like one of the big guys up front.
Yeah, Aaron Grunewald.
Oh, Matt. Moves it up 5 yards, 1st and 5 now on the 9-yard line.
So you see that bunch again by Hortonville down to the bottom of our screen, but this time the fullback who's going in motion is at the bottom of the trips.
Concepcion following his blockers inside the 5, down to the 4, which will be near a first down. They haven't dropped the chains just yet or made any kind of, well, they'll stop and maybe do a measurement because this is going to be pretty close. No, I kept the clock going. And second down and very short here, inside the 5. Trying to score for the 4th time in 4 tries. High snap. Concepcion grabs it and in for 6 more for Hortonville. Make it 4 for 4, and they're up 27-0.
Yeah, you just run behind big number 76, Max Sullivan, lead block from number 33, Dylan Schmidt, and one of the best running backs in the conference. I mean, again, it looks good on paper. It looks even better when you have players that can execute it, and their offensive line walked their defensive line into the end zone.
Left-footed McKenna Gervais, 5'10", 145-pound senior. The lefty lady kicker, and puts it through.
She's getting a workout, Joey, tonight.
That's right. Giving that left leg a nice little workout. 4 for 4, 28-0 is our score. We'll take another quick timeout and come back to Oshkosh right after this.
The projects we construct afford us the opportunity to help those in need in more ways than one. And the momentum we create as a team allows us to make an impact greater than any one of us can achieve on our own. We are part of the community. We are where we live. We are Myron Construction.
Here in Oshkosh, Joey D and John Dinsey with you. First of 2 that we will bring you today on our Fox Communities Credit Union video stream games of the week. 4 for 4 for Hortonville. That's the first time that they ran it in, but the second touchdown for Concepcion. He had a 12-yard reception earlier in the first quarter, and it's 28-0 now Hortonville, and still a lot of time to go here in the second quarter.
I think Oshkosh North is really aware of that. There's 7 minutes left. It's 28-0, and Hortonville keeps coming. Another squib kick to the middle.
Taken about the 23-yard line. Didn't get too much further than that, and North will come back out and try and get something going. Last year, final score was 48-6. Year before that, dare I even say it, 74-0 was the final score. So the last 2 years, let me do the quick math, 122-6, and you add on 28 more here for Hortonville. It's just the way it's been the last several years here between these 2 schools.
Yeah, I mean, Hortonville, Coach Colasso does an amazing job. Offensively, defensively, they're very talented.
Dropped, but Tessmer dives back on it. It's like that's just the way that's the way it's gone this year for Oshkosh North, I think.
Joey, I mean, we've talked about it a lot, and when you're not as talented as the team you're playing, you really have to have positive plays, right? And you got to string together positive play, positive play, positive play. But you see in football now today, you don't see 13, 14, 15 play drives, and really what North needs is just to have positive runs.
Bringing pressure from the left side. He's hit right away. There were 2 white jerseys that were all over him, including Jacob Bookman, 6'5", 190-pound senior, got to him first, and Tessmer went down, had to get rid of it. It'll be 3rd and long.
Yeah, I mean, really nothing for Tessmer to do. They blitz 2 people. Truthfully, you should probably be able to pick it up with both backs being in the backfield. He tries to take a short fade here. Number 20 for Hortonville, the corner there, who really coaches described as a lockdown corner, which I've never really heard of for a high school guy. There's no window to put that ball.
3rd and long. They give it to Spenbauer, looking for some kind of positive yardage. Does get a few, but it's going to be another 3 and out for Oshkosh North. What do you think about Hortonville in that last play? Bringing so much pressure, even though you're up considerably here.
Well, on 3rd and 2nd down, blitzing. I guess if you're asking, if you're blitzing up 28-0,
that's what I was trying to get to.
honestly, I mean, we're in the second quarter, so your game plan really shouldn't change. If there's a look that makes you believe that it's a blitz look, you should do it. Now, on that play, that's full flow zone. Those linebackers look like they're blitzing, but they're just run fitting. I mean, it stinks when you're watching the game because you're like, hey, just lay off a little bit, but this is the second quarter.
Anything can happen. We've seen some crazy things in sports. That is going to fly out of bounds. We'll see exactly where they mark it. He's still walking,
I'm intrigued to see where this ends up.
Still walking. 43 is where the one referee puts his foot, and so again,
I think that was a generous spot.
Yeah.
I thought it went out way before that.
And again, starting in North Territory.
And this is what we talk about, Joey, right? So Coach Wera has to find a way to put his team in a position where they can chip away 3-4 yards at a time, because they're putting themselves in a position where they are field-wise that these are 30, 40-yard drives. That's all Hortonville really has to do. I mean, they're starting this drive in the 43.
Hunter Strange, the ball carrier, up. They got about a yard and a half or two near the 40, so it'll be second down and about 8.
Yeah, really good run fit by the defense that time. Now, again, you're seeing that bunch trips look here into the boundary, and you're seeing Concepcion at the top of it. Now, he's different than Schmidt. They've used him a lot as a receiver. And now he releases, runs her out.
Looking deep. And there's a lot of contact and a lot of yellow flying through the air.
I know it's high school football, but I'm not going to even predict pass interference anymore. It looked like the defender didn't give him the opportunity to make a play back on the ball, but all the contact was initiated by Hortonville.
We'll see, because there's two of them down, so maybe one referee saw one and one saw the other.
That makes sense.
It's going to go on Oshkosh North. I believe that was Gus Dabler on the coverage and getting called for that one. It was going to be some kind of interference, whether it be offensive or defensive, because they were all over each other.
Yeah. Pass interference.
That is the third penalty on Oshkosh North in this first half.
And Joey, really that bunch trips looks that we've seen from Hortonville, especially down in the boundary here like this, has really been to set up one-on-ones to the top. And they've taken that throw now really 3 for 3. 3 straight times they've taken that throw. Now they're in a more balanced look here as looks like they're still trying to get an explanation on the penalty.
Yeah, Coach Wara talking to the two officials on the sideline.
You know,
throwing his hands up in the air.
He's a former wide receiver. He got many of those calls. He doesn't like it now, but.
So they'll mark it on the 25, first and 10, as we approach the 5-minute mark. Hunter Strange wrestled to the ground. Nice open field one-on-one tackle. Brendan Crumry right there. And it'll be second down and about 7 after a 3-yard gain.
Yeah, if you're watching at home, I mean, Concepcion, number 22 for Hortonville, is obviously one of their best players. We've talked about him a lot. But if you're watching at home, really watch where he goes. Where 22 is generally where the play is going. And when he motions back in the box, you're seeing lead zone, you're seeing power, in a couple of play-action plays. When he splits out, they primarily throw the ball.
Second and 7. Little play action. Into the end zone, jumping up and catching it. Touchdown for the second time tonight. Parker Lawrence puts 6 more on the board for Hortonville.
You know, Joey, sometimes you're just snake bitten. I mean, the reality is that, like I said, Concepcion is split out. They play action or RPO, however you want to look at it, right? And they throw it. They get pressure on the quarterback. They hit the quarterback, and he still completes it in double coverage for a touchdown. Sometimes you just throw your hands up in the air. Good players make plays.
And again, McKenna is going to get a little workout here with the left foot. Perfect so far, and that one is through as well. Perfect 5 for 5. It is now 35-0 Hortonville with just under 5 minutes left to play here in this first half. 4:23 to be exact. And a tough one so far here early on at home for Oshkosh North. Looking for that first win. Last year, The last 2 years, actually, 0-8 in league play. They did get one win overall last year. But just a tough stretch here these last couple of seasons for Coach Wera.
Yeah, it just makes it so hard, Joey. Like we said at the beginning of the game, I mean, there are no weeks off in this conference. And you're running up against teams that, we're seeing spread the field like this. And they have 3 wide receivers, and they have a good running back. And, we had Kimberly earlier in the year, and they got tight ends, and they got offensive linemen. And, as you're trying to rebuild or even build a program, sometimes you have to take your lumps like North is taking right now to get where you want to go long term. Luckily, North has a really good coaching staff that's going to get their players up to speed.
And again, we can't say it enough, too. They are riddled with injuries.
Well, when we were down on the field before the game, it was almost like they weren't sure who was going to play in some spots.
Yeah.
Because, again, I mean, when you say Ethan Tesmer is their 5th quarterback, that tells the story in itself, right? And for all of us, that have ever coached before or even played, right, that position is so critical to figure that out first. And when you line up with Kyle Allen as your quarterback and they're on their 5th, it just tells the story.
And it'll be Tesmer again. Handoff. Keyshawn Torrance, the ball carrier. He gets it, I believe, for the first time tonight.
It's tough because up front right now, that 4-man front for Hortonville is winning pretty much every matchup, and the linebackers for Hortonville are really good players. I mean, you see 33, you see 34, you see them pretty much around the ball on every play. So, any of those inside runs really have gone nowhere today.
Again, what we were just talking about, I believe my stats are right. That was the first carry for Keyshawn Torrance all year. Just going to different guys. Look at that, a nice pass. That one looked like pitch and catch like they've been doing it all year. Caught by Lucas Cleveland on the pass from Ethan Tesmer. The biggest play of the game. Finally a first down for Oshkosh North up on the 35-yard line.
Yeah, and that's interesting, Joey. I was actually looking to see where the 11th player was on the field. So I wonder if they put the Twins into the boundary there and just wheeled him to get him open like that.
Cleveland, their second leading receiver. He does have a receiving touchdown and just over 100 yards on the season, but tack on another at least 30 on that one.
Yeah, big play. And again, that North not only needs that, for positive plays like we've talked about, but they needed to change the field position.
Taking their time, getting the play in this time as we are under 3 minutes left to play.
Yeah, I think, Joey, this is the look that must have hit that big play because number 11 got beat on the play.
Looking to run the ball again up the middle and might have got back to the line of scrimmage or nope, lost a yard back to the 35. It'll be 3rd and 10 now for the Spartans.
Nice little wrinkle by Coach Ware on that play. If that's what he did, is they haven't really put their slot receiver into the boundary at all until that play. And when you watch Hortonville's defense, their overhangs, number 11 being one of them, Caleb Williams, they are fitting run and thinking pass second for sure. They are hoping that deep safety right now, number 6, is going to protect him so he can defend the run first.
Tesmer showing a little more arm strength, and this time incomplete. Looking down the sideline for Greg Harden, their leading receiver on the season. Still has yet to catch here this evening, but it's going to be 4th and 10 now.
Yeah, he's got to leave that ball outside. He got exactly what he's looking for. Hortonville basically stays in a one-high safety look, but they play that safety, the only safety really, over the number 2 receiver. So that is a one-on-one with a whole bunch of grass over there, fake grass over there. And he puts the ball inside where the defender is. It's not a good throw.
Tesmer scrambling. Positive yards, but it will be a turnover on down. So after the one big play, that Hortonville defense stuffs them in 4 plays.
Yeah, and truthfully, Joey, on most of these pass plays, as they've been in a lot of 3rd and longs, a lot of 2nd and longs. In this case, 4th and long. There's just no separation by the receivers. I mean, you want Tesmer to get rid of the ball and try to throw it. I just don't know where he would have thrown it.
So Hortonville takes over right at the 2-minute warning. As you can See on our scoreboard, 35-0. They have scored on all 5 of their possessions, 4 passes and 1 rushing touchdown.
And this is, Joey, their first possession that's starting on their side of the 50-yard line. So, this puts North in a better position, obviously. This is a 65-yard drive if they can hit it.
Concepcion hit in the backfield, but keeps on going and going and going. Touchdown! Hortonville strikes on 1 play, and 6 times in a row now that they've had the football on a 64-yard touchdown run by Concepcion, his 3rd touchdown here in the first half.
So, Joe, if you're watching at home, that is a really good play, obviously, but it's a really good play call. So that motion that Concepcion has been doing, coming back into the box and lead blocking, instead this time they just give it to him on a jet sweep, and he has the back lead block for him. First time we've seen him do that in the game. Great wrinkle, great play call, even better run by one of the best players in the conference.
I didn't catch the number because I started watching Concepcion, but he was hit right away in the backfield.
Yep.
There was some good penetration, but he got away from it.
Yeah, it's almost like, they've been motioning him back into the backfield, and then they're having him lead block or block off the edge, and you could see the timing of how he was going in motion, that they were going to hit him, either hand it straight off to him or shovel pass it to him, right? And they did, but you're seeing North blitz or trigger, we used to call it as linebacker when I was a linebacker coach, too. They just fit where he is, and he hit him in the backfield, but at 5'11", 200, I would say plus pounds after seeing him down on the field. It ain't easy to tackle those guys, Joey.
42-0. The dominance here by Hortonville in this first half.
Oh, yeah.
6 for 6.
I
even when we're just talking about, even when they start back in their own territory, they still
That's what I give
do
for
that.
saying, hey, they have to hit 65 yards. They did in 1 play. Just like that. Yeah, Hortonville is they're loaded, Joey. They are really talented.
Leaping catch right at the 15-yard line. And still on his feet, Keyshawn Torrance showing some moves.
There you
and
go.
finally taken down at the 37-yard line. And for the probably about the second time tonight, we can hear some of the Oshkosh North fans cheering.
Yeah, put him back in the game. He's jacked right now. So excited. And again, Joey, you want your kids to have success. I mean, that's the key to coaching, right? And the sideline's excited, off a play like that. And that's the beauty of football. It doesn't matter what the score is right now. They get to go try to win this play. It's a little different look offensively.
And did not fake out the Hortonville defense, taken by Spanbauer. He did gain about a yard, so it'll be 2nd down and 9 as the clock continues to run, nearing the 1-minute mark of this first half.
Yeah, that was Dylan Schmidt again, and we've said it a couple of times. I mean, you watch these plays and you see 34, 30, and 33 pretty much on every play. The linebackers for Hortonville are coached really well and are in run fitting on almost every play.
Tesmer, good protection up front, lofting it for his main man in between 3 defenders, though. Could not grab it. Greg Harden, the intended receiver. Nice little touch pass, though.
It actually opened up right away. I think if he flattens him out a little bit more with the throw, there's a big hole in the middle of the field, but that ball sailed on him, and again, that could be at Tesmer's inexperience, so that the backside defenders actually end up breaking up the play.
3rd down and 9. Give once again to Spanbauer. Nothing doing on that left side of the line. He does get across the 40, but the clock running right at 40 seconds left to play in the first half.
Yeah, it's hard, Joey, because what's happening, and if you're watching at home, these 2 receivers that are down in the boundary here, number 11 is the overhang. He's the outside linebacker. He's going to run fit first, and he's going to play the flat. The safety's playing on top of that number 2 receiver. So that run play they keep running, the back keeps bouncing it outside because there's nothing there in the middle. The problem is number 11's unblocked. So even if the slot receiver blocks him, the safety's unblocked then. So that run play into the boundary here, there's just not enough guys to block it.
Could be the last play of this first half. Another long pass attempt, looking for Harden again. This time it's picked off by
contact.
Hortonville. TJ Payne right there, still on his feet. Finally brought down. Yes, there is a flag on the play. There's triple zeros on the clock. But
I think we're getting another play, Joey. Yeah. We're getting another one. No red challenge flag on this one.
The flag at the 35.
So the ball right now is spotted on the 41. So in high school, it's not a spot foul like it is on Sundays. So there's going to be a 15-yard penalty. So where they mark this ball really puts North in a position where it's a very reasonable throw to get this ball to the end zone. So we'll see, as they move the ball forward.
Already put 15. No, now they put the triple zeros back. They just put 15, the halftime 15 minutes up. But pass interference is the call. The second penalty of the half on Hortonville. Really the only things that have gone wrong for them in this first half.
Right, but now from the 45-yard line, this is a ball that Tessmer can get near the goal line and give you actually a shot at completing, a Hail Mary pass. So it'll be interesting to see how they draw this up. They got 3 receivers to the top of the screen. Traditionally, that's where you would expect a Hail Mary to be thrown, is where you have more receivers. But the back is not to the trip side. Oh, boy.
Here comes the pressure. Tessmer can't get rid of it, and he is sacked. And that is how the first half will come to an end. Sacked there by Ben Bulow. Zach Ruber's also in there. And all Hortonville here in this first half. Your halftime score, 42-0. What went wrong on that last play there?
Joey, they didn't block anyone. I mean, there's no easier way to explain it. The D-line, the linebackers, Hortonville was not going to wait for that ball to be thrown. They went after the quarterback, and he had no time to throw that pass.
Halftime score, Hortonville scoring all 6 times that they had the football, 42-0. We'll take a time out here from some of our very fine sponsors, and we will come back and have second half activity here for you, or the first half of our doubleheader. Stay tuned, because coming up after this one, Cambria Friesland and Oshkosh Lords, they will take the field after this one is over with. 42-0, your halftime score. Back in a couple of minutes here on our Fox Communities Credit Union video stream games of the week.
Make fenced-in yard happen. Make two-story in town happen. Or ranch in the country happen. Definitely make 2 bathrooms happen. With Fox, make we can afford that one happen. When it's time to decide on your dream home, Fox helps you make life happen. Visit one of 22 Fox locations or apply online today so you can make this is the one happen.
Fox Communities.
A century is made up of minutes, but more importantly, of moments. Moments of hard work, dedication, challenges, and triumphs. From Myron Construction, the past 100 years were built by the steady hands of tradespeople who laid a strong foundation, and continues to thrive because of our passionate team members. As we close this significant chapter of our history, our sights are set on what we will accomplish together in the years to come, because together we'll continue building excellence.
When you're looking for a cutting-edge local company to produce your creative screen-printed or embroidered apparel for your business or team, Creative Imprint in Neenah is that company. Their experienced staff can bring all your ideas to life. They make you part of the experience with their online designing tool that allows customers to design their own t-shirts. That's how they make you part of the experience. Design your t-shirt and place your order online at creativeimprintapparel.com. Experience the difference.
I'm Tom Julian from the Julian Strategic Alliance Group. I'm inviting you to have my team help you develop your personal, estate, and business planning goals. Let us put together comprehensive financial strategies for your success in every season of your life. Contact us today to get started. We're right on the CE Trail in Kimberly. We can help you establish retirement income goals, work with you on your asset protection allocation, and guide you on future income growth strategies. I would like to meet with you to begin the conversation. Call us. Let's get started.
The projects we construct afford us the opportunity to help those in need in more ways than one. And the momentum we create as a team allows us to make an impact greater than any one of us can achieve on our own. We are part of the community. We are where we live. We are Myron Construction.
right, as they put up the extra 3 minutes here at halftime, as they always do, we bring it back here in Oshkosh on the campus of UW-Oshkosh Titan Stadium. Joey D alongside John Dinsey, our Fox Communities Credit Union video stream games of the week. And the first game flying right along and just dominated by the Hortonville Polar Bears, as they are here in Oshkosh with a 42-0 lead. They got things going. A 1-yard pass to Parker Lawrence on their first possession. A 12-yard pass to Concepcion on their second. Another pass to TJ Payne on the third. A 5-yard run by Concepcion on the fourth. The 22-yard pass again to Lawrence on the fifth. And then that big breakaway. Under 2 minutes left to go in that half. 64-yard run by Concepcion. That's all the scoring so far, 42-0. So we will see some running clock. But first half thoughts here again, John Dinsey.
You know, it's hard, Joey, when you see a mismatch like this and you see teams that are obviously going in opposite directions in the season, and you really want to point out, you know, how good Hortonville is and how well they've executed on what they've done. And they've been really good defensively. And unfortunately, North hasn't, right? And those things are obvious. It's 42-0. But I don't think that's the whole story. I think the story really is the players we were told about before the game, the players that we see in the stat line for Hortonville have won their one-on-ones, and really Coach Colasso is maximized the game plan that he came into this game for. And, you know, Coach Wera, they practice all week. I mean, they come up with game plans too, and their players just haven't been able to maximize on their opportunities the way Hortonville has. So sometimes when it's a blowout like this, Joey, so far, or you see teams going in opposite directions, sometimes you don't give enough credit to, you know, the people that are doing what they're supposed to be doing. And because football is such a one-on-one matchup. It's not like the plays are designed to work for one team and not for the other. But as you mentioned, you heard TJ Payne, Kyle Allen, Parker, Jose Concepcion many times during the first half. They won their one-on-one matchups, and Hortonville benefited from it. It's 42-0. So hopefully what North can do is start winning their matchups in the second half, and whether they win or not is irrelevant. They just have to start winning plays.
North only had one possession where it was not a 3-and-out.
Oh, boy.
And here on the opening kickoff, there he goes, Jaquan Owens. Nobody touching him at all. And put 6 more up on the board for the Polar Bears. Wow.
Okay, I want to be positive. I was trying to be positive, Joey.
Okay, let's do it.
But no one touched him. Not one person.
Nope.
That is 11 on 11. That means someone should have been able to account and at least put a hand on him. And that is a basic sideline return, and no one touched him. And the hard part is you want teams to compete regardless of the score, and that play, there was no competition. And Hortonville blocked it well, and there, I don't know how long that return was, but it was an untouched return for a touchdown.
I'll call it about 80.
About 80? Okay.
Yeah. Extra point is good once again. And it's 7 for 7. Every time they have touched the football, they have scored. We will take a quick timeout and hear from some of our sponsors. 49-0 your score here in Oshkosh.
Are you looking to make your dream home happen? Make stop searching and searching happen. You could make that fenced-in yard happen and make that bigger bathroom finally happen. It's time to make your home transformation happen with a home equity loan or line of credit from Fox. Apply online right now or visit one of 22 Fox locations to get the money you need and make life happen.
Fox Communities Credit Union.
All right, I'm going to pop the score up, and you're going to say, what? Yeah, that's
real.
The story so far, and yes, we are only 10 seconds in to this third quarter.
I'm going to tell you this. Jaquan Owens is fast. That's what I took from that play.
Taking right at
There you go.
20.
Doesn't I see him?
Evan Chop still on his feet out near midfield.
There
And
you go. Answer back.
Spartan's going to start, I believe, with their best field position starting-wise all game so far.
Absolutely, Joey. I mean, they're midfield at the 49-yard line. And again, that's what my long, drawn-out story after halftime, after you asked me the question, when you're down in games like this, you have to focus, if you're on the zero side of this, on winning plays. And unfortunately, Joey, I haven't been in a ton of games like this, but I can tell you, a game we went into halftime at La Crosse, down 42-0, you come back out in the second half, and you just want to move the ball. You want to have positive plays, and that's what Coach Ware's got to focus on.
Running play here is Spanbauer, and he can't go anywhere. Again, wrapped up.
That's a tough call. The left tackle is going to get called for holding on this play, and the flag comes out really late by the ref. And really, it's probably a hold, but the play from the ref's point of view looks like a hold because the back cuts back. And again, you start a drive and you get a penalty to start. And it's just unfortunate that's what happens.
And you'll see the referees do the signaling because they're supposed to stop the clock, and usually would. But we should say here in the second half, it is running clock, which kind of took me by surprise because I thought the rule was fourth quarter up by 35, but I was told by the scorer's booth that no, it's in the second half, 35, and they just run the clock except for, look at that, except for timeouts and injuries and touchdowns. But a long pass completion. One of the biggest plays of the game so far for Oshkosh North, and a completion to Greg Harden, their leading receiver.
Yeah, so sprint out. On that time, the out by the number 2 receiver becomes a wheel route, and the post is by number 1. And truthfully, if he throws the wheel route, it's probably a touchdown. Both guys were wide open.
And off to Torrance. And again, look at all the white jerseys just surrounding him as soon as he might have got back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, the mesh
lost
on that
a yard.
That mesh on that play was all screwed up, Joey. It almost looked like the quarterback Tessmer wanted to keep it, and just slowed down the mesh for the running back taking the ball from the quarterback. That time they run an outside zone play, an outside stretch play. It actually looked like it could have hit for some more yards, but the timing was just off. What I'd like to see as the game goes on is if they're going to run those plays, there has to be the ability for Tessmer to keep it on whether it's a quarterback power or some sort of midline run. They haven't really called that yet, but that's going to be there.
Low snap, and Tessmer picks it up. Lost it in the air. He's got a man, and he dropped it. Oh, my goodness. Julian Harden had a wide open 6 points. And everybody in the crowd, including the broadcasters, going, oh, wow, did that just happen?
Yeah, Joey sees me have my hands on my head as I'm just, again, I'm trying to be partial, Joey, but I want to see North get some points here. No, one of the good adjustments you're seeing from Coach Ware is he's moving the pocket to give Tessmer a little bit more time. And like we talked about, these are one-on-one matchups. It's a receiver against a safety. There you go, good run.
Back to the run game on the right hash mark.
So again, that's that that's that lead zone, but more of an outside zone look. The lead runner goes outside and blocks off the edge, and it gave a really nice cutback by the tailback there. So again, we talked about, right, moving the ball, winning plays, winning one-on-one matchups. You beat your guy. And North has had opportunities throughout this entire drive, really, because they've given the quarterback more protection. Right? So it all starts with that offensive line, and this drive's been better.
4th and 6 on the 32. And picked off. Another interception, second one of the game for Tessmer. It would have been a turnover on downs anyway, but jumping up out of the air and grabbing that one, Francis O'Connor, and Hortonville will take over after the interception.
Yeah, they went back to the sprint out again. Slot receiver runs an out route. You cannot lob. You can't have a touch pass on an out route like that, especially against a defense like this. It's a 4-4 look, which means the outside linebacker on pass plays is going to run underneath number 1 or take an out away from number 2. So that's a ball where You have to win the route, and you have to you can't put touch on it. You have to put the ball to the sideline and make your receiver run to it. Because he didn't put enough on it, I mean, the DB's able to undercut it and pick it off.
And they'll run it for the first time here. Sam Dodd, by the way, is the new quarterback for Hortonville. Didn't see the number that ran that time, but back to the line of scrimmage will be 2nd and 10. So Sam Dodd comes in, a 6'3", 180-pound sophomore. He has played in a couple of games.
Yeah, it looks like subs across the board, Joey. It looks like the second unit. That's actually a really good run fit by number 44, Carter Drew, to slow that play down.
Fumbled. Ball pops loose from the handoff to the running back, and
North thinks they have it.
Indeed they do.
Okay.
So they take over on the Hortonville 45-yard line, forcing the first turnover of the game on Hortonville.
You know, when you get in this position and coaches calling your number, you know, and maybe the guys that are the backups that just got put into the game didn't expect to be in the game this early, but you don't want to make mistakes. You don't want to force the coach to put the starters back in the game when this is your opportunity. So that's something they're going to have to clean up next drive.
Low snap, but the handoff to Keyshawn Torrance.
Nice
Well, he's
hard
shown
run.
a lot of spark tonight, Keyshawn Torrance.
Yeah, that's again an outside run play designed. He does a great job of cutting it back inside, almost running it like a punt return. You know, he gets in open space and he's just trying to find little seams.
He's listed at 5'7", 135. This
seam.
guy is. Look at him go.
He had a big seam there.
First down, only the second first down of the game for Oshkosh North. Moved the chains up to about that 32-yard line. How about him?
Joey, I just want to tell him to put his foot in the ground and run.
Yeah.
Run. He seems faster than he's playing right now. We just need to get him in open space. Good run, good block by the fullback on the edge to block the overhang.
1st and 10 on the 32. And ahead up to about the 29, so 3-yard gain for Spanbauer. It'll be 2nd and 7.
Yeah, you're seeing really two different variations of either a lead zone or an outside zone, both out of shotgun, both out of split backs, out of gun. Again, not really a read look at all by the quarterback yet, which seems to be something that'll be open eventually.
29 and dragged down from behind. Another sack by Hortonville. And this one we will give credit to Colby Bauman.
Yeah, again, I mean, it looks like it's the front side defensive end, number 43.
Yeah.
You know, if you're going to sprint to that side, that's the main guy we got to block. So doesn't get blocked or beats the block of the left tackle. Tessmer can't get outside, and really the routes are irrelevant by that point in time then.
The PA guy said something different, but I don't know, that was 43, wasn't it?
That's how I see it.
All right, 3rd down and long, 3rd and 14 on the 36.
He's got him.
They'll go to the air. He's open. Jumping up and in and out of the hands once again. Incomplete pass, so it'll bring up 4th down and long. But he had him. That ball just kind of hung a little bit too long.
Yeah, Joey, we've talked a lot about it, you know, since the game started, that difference at the quarterback position is really where you see the separation in these teams. And it's not just tonight. I mean, it's throughout the conference. These quarterbacks we've seen throughout this conference, you know, that have experience, really their teams are just different offensively. And that's a ball, it's a sprint out. The slot receiver runs a wheel up the sideline, and that ball should be on him when he clears the DB. The problem is he leads him up the field, and the safety can make a play on him, and that's a ball that shouldn't even have been contested.
As Lucas Cleveland, the intended receiver, now 4th and long. It's out of trouble. Not going to be enough for the first down. It looked like he had Cleveland again open down that right sideline. Didn't see him, and down he goes. It's a turnover back to Hortonville.
Joey, I think they ran the exact same play. I mean, it looked like he ran the exact same play. Now, again, there's early pressure. They're trying to run sprint out. The right tackle gets beat, and Tessmer's got to beat that guy before he can even look at the receivers. And that's tough. It's tough. When your eyes aren't down the field, you're obviously not going to be able to focus on the receivers. Tesmer looked like he had a lot of open grass, but a good open field tackle prevented him from getting the first down.
So Hortonville takes over on their own 26-yard line. As the clock continues to run down. Inside 2 minutes left to play in this third quarter. On the running clock, 49-0 for the Polar Bears.
Yeah, short 2-yard gain. Again, offensively, you're going to see a lot of the same plays you saw, with the first unit essentially. Now with the second unit from Hortonville, that fullback motions back into the box. They run lead zone.
Dodd in at quarterback again. And again, he'll hand it off to the up back. Diving towards the 30. There he is stopped. And it will bring up a third down and about 7 right on the 30-yard line with exactly a minute left to play in the third.
Yeah, great job by number 43, the defensive end for Oshkosh North, Andy McAvoy, of beating the block of the lead blocker, which in this case was the fullback on that power play. Really condensed the gap and made it harder for the back to get any traction.
4 receivers, they'll go to the air. He's got him. Diving across. Looks like he's got a first down. Colin Krivashine.
A penalty on the play. Looks in the area of a face mask, would be my guess.
Here is the official call. Face mask on Oshkosh North. That is their 5th penalty, I have it, of the game. And they will move the chains anyway and just give it an extra yardage up to the 43. And it's 1st and 10.
I'd say that'll be it for the third quarter, Joey.
Yep, with the running clock, it doesn't stop on the penalty. So we'll take a break and come back, have fourth quarter action for you. It's been all Hortonville here in Oshkosh on our Fox Communities Credit Union video stream games of the week.
Oh, emojis. I thought the conversation just got dumber.
Ugh, internet trolls, just ignore them.
I like you just the way you are.
I believe in you.
She's a hugger. Give her a squeeze.
Help up the hand.
Ah, there you go. Thanks, mate.
You're killing it, Zane!
Dun, 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 dun. Oh, one of the greatest songs ever. As we bring it back to Oshkosh, Joey D and John Dinsey with you. As we begin quarter number 4, Hortonville leading Oshkosh North 49-0. And to start, that'll be 1st and 10 for Hortonville as they run it on the first play. And again, the running clock, 12 minutes. And it was kind of weird to see Hortonville not score on one of their drives there a while ago.
Yeah. Self-inflicted is the only time that they've gotten stopped, right? I mean, it's interesting, right? You're watching the first half, and you just see this surgical, almost surgical, how well they executed, right? And now you come out in the second half, and you're seeing similar plays, right? But you're seeing younger players try to do it. And you see just little things not work as well, and North execute a little bit better, and you don't see touchdowns yet. Well, that's a pretty good big game there in second down.
Landon Springstrow.
It's the first time I've seen him run a toss play so far today. So, again, different players, probably different strengths, similar play calls, and really great varsity, minutes right now for the Hortonville offensive players right now that might not have normally played in this game.
Ball right at midfield, 3rd and 3. 4 receivers.
And that 2-by-2 look. All
Dodd.
pass.
The short pass right at the sticks. Did he get it?
It's weird because he caught the ball beyond the first down marker.
Yeah, they're going to mark him just shy.
Wow.
We got the number 4 popped up on the yard marker there. So it's going to be 4th and short just across midfield here for the Polar Bears.
As a coach, I would be on top of that ref right now because that's
even at 49-0.
Even at 49-0. that kid did a great job of running a route past the down marker, and we just penalized him for it.
Here we go, 4th and short. He got it. That's Springstro.
They had him in the backfield, too. They had to stop. They just couldn't wrap up and finish the play. So Hortonville moves the ball again, gets another first down. Again, good execution. You know what I like, Joey, and we talked about it early in the game, right? We said, North is going to want to have winning plays, right? In a game where you're outmatched, you want winning plays, you want to move the ball, and when you can't run the ball inside, sometimes you just need to take easy, quick throws for your quarterback. Well, you see on 3rd down, that's what they're doing with their sophomore quarterback right now. Take easy throws.
Give once again off the right side. Springstro once again up to the 35. About a 5 or 6 yard gain, so it'll be 2nd down for the Polar Bears as we approach the 9-minute mark here.
Yeah, Joey, that was a really nice run. Again, that's that lead zone, but the fullback's really blocking off the edge, so it really becomes like a one-back zone where as the back dives forward, he gets to pick where the gap is, and you see him shuffle his feet and just find a nice little seam. It's a nice run.
4 receivers again, this time 3 to the near. Instead, they'll give it to Springstro. Across the 30, he's got another first down. Well, he's had some pretty nice runs here ever since coming in.
Yeah, good player. I mean, guy that's getting some minutes now late in the game, junior player. Really good feet, good balance through the hole.
So it will be 1st and 10 now on the 28 is where they'll mark it. Sam Dodd in at quarterback. Give to Springstro once again. Landon Springstro, and the ball is loose. Picked up by Oshkosh North. And running it back was Ray McCann,
who forced a fumble. As you saw that play, you saw him, instead of trying to tackle, just wrenching on the ball and waiting for the ref to blow the whistle.
I'm like, wait a minute, is it still going?
And it still went. He ripped the ball right out of his hand, recovered the fumble he forced, and if he scoops it maybe a little bit quicker, he might have scored. Wow, I mean, again, the defense of Oshkosh North, like, positive plays, keep your players excited, right? Force another turnover, and now Oshkosh North has a chance to hopefully capitalize on one of these drives offensively.
And the only time they do stop the clock, touchdown or a timeout, and we have a timeout, so we'll take one too here from one of our sponsors here, all Hortonville, but Oshkosh North just forcing the turnover. Back after this.
I'm Tom Julian from the Julian Strategic Alliance Group. I'm inviting you to have my team help you develop your personal, estate, and business planning goals. Let us put together comprehensive financial strategies for your success in every season of your life. Contact us today to get started. We're right on the CE Trail in Kimberly. We can help you establish retirement income goals, work with you on your asset protection allocation, and guide you on future income growth strategies. I would like to meet with you to begin the conversation. Call us. Let's get started.
Late Friday afternoon on into early Friday evening here in Northeast Wisconsin. Gorgeous night for some high school football once again.
Oh, it feels like football weather.
It really does. Now we're getting into October and down to it in the season, too. Can't believe it's week 7. Boy, wrapped up right away in the backfield. Kobe Bauman got a hold of Torrance and ripped him down for about a 6-yard loss. It'll be 2nd and 16.
Yeah, we have a new quarterback. Looks like number 3, Cole Spanbauer, and it looked like nothing but confusion on that play. I don't know if they tried to direct snap to the running back on that play, but he ended up with it. So
Cole Spanbauer, the new quarterback, 6'1", 155-pound sophomore, takes it himself, throws with the left hand, but right at the foot of his intended receiver. He was open. Just didn't get it up high enough. And it'll be 3rd down, the intended receiver, Evan Chop.
Yeah, Hortonville's really thrown some different looks at North against that sprint out. So, like, that time on sprint out, we've seen the defensive ends win against the tackles of Oshkosh North, and they haven't had to really, what I would call trigger, right? So the outside linebacker can then just force the quarterback to throw it. That time the outside linebacker blitzed, or, again, triggered once he saw the sprint out, which means the slot receiver is open. They just couldn't get him the ball.
Give going up the middle and stuffed right away. Jose Rodriguez, 5'2", 120-pound sophomore.
I looked at the roster immediately because he disappeared in that gap. It looked like once he got the ball, it looked like there was a nice little seam there, and he ran into his own guy who was making a block downfield.
So it is 4th and about 12 on the 39-yard line. Spenbauer rolling out. Throws with the left hand across his body, and it's caught.
Wow.
Inbounds. What a catch by Evan Chop. And they got a first down. They moved the football across midfield here.
Yeah, so
made something out of nothing.
So again, similar routes, the post wheel type look, but when he broke and Tane, the number one receiver, or the number two, whoever ended up on the edge, ends up coming back to the ball in a really good ball, found a hole, even though it was decent coverage. That was their first read of the day.
Spenbauer hit in the backfield by Bauman again. And officially a sack for Hortonville. Drops him back to about the 47-yard line, 2nd and long.
Yeah, I just wonder on those quarterback runs if they're designed runs, or if he's supposed to be reading it, because both times that the quarterback is kept, really the opportunity to run the ball with the back is what was there. I mean, there's two outside box or edge players that are there for the quarterback on that play. I mean, that ball should have been given.
Spenbauer hands it off. And again, the swarming Hortonville defense. First to hit him, Griffin Bias.
Joey, did you see that? Number 22, Jose Rodriguez, was the lead blocker on that play. And he had a good block on the outside there.
Tough little guy.
I want to see him get the ball again.
He is just to the right of Spenbauer. On 3rd down. Low snap, almost dropped it. And that one almost picked off. A dangerous pass into some traffic there. Had it totally read.
Yeah,
intended receiver looks like Skylar Smith.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier in the game that, the slot receiver is running it out again, right? So if you're the overhang, what you've seen is an out and then an out that he wheels down the field. You've really seen two different routes, and that's it. But he still got open off of his initial break, but the ball's got to be on him out of his break. Otherwise, the defender will make up the difference. And in that case, he did, and almost ended up running all the way down the sideline for a touchdown.
4th and 6 on the 40. Hortonville bringing the pressure, going to the air. 1-on-1, and he's got it. Diving across, and Oshkosh North is on the board.
One-on-one matchups, Joey. One-on-one matchups. So, football is a game where outmanned, better teams, worse teams, doesn't matter. It ends up being one-on-one matchups, and in that case, they had enough time to get the ball out to the receiver for him to go make a play and beat the DB one-on-one. And North gets their first touchdown of the game as a result.
That's got to feel really, really good. Jack McNamara, 40-yard touchdown reception. And they're on the board, 49-6.
And as a coach, Joey, I mean, that's all you want to do. You want to allow your players to be in a position to succeed. And throughout the whole game, the quarterback hasn't had time to throw, and there haven't been many gaps for the running backs. And it just seems like nothing has worked for North. But the truth is they've had their opportunities when they can get one-on-one matchups. And that was the first time today that they made a big play that led to a touchdown. They've had a couple off their hands or, whatever, where the game could be a little bit different. But as a coach, that's what you want to do. And I'll give Coach Ware a lot of credit. This team has not quit playing regardless of the score.
And that has to feel good. 49-7. That's the first time that they have been on the scoreboard since a 16-13 loss a couple of weeks ago at Appleton West, because they were shut out last week at Neenah. So, again, long time since they've been across that goal line.
Yeah, and they've struggled offensively really all year, Joey. I mean, I think we talked about it before the game. I mean, in league play, they have 32 total points in league play. So they've struggled all year offensively, moving the ball consistently, getting into the end zone. But like I mentioned, after the touchdown, for the players to keep playing and to keep playing hard and to find some success, I mean, these are the things Coach Ware has to do as he's building a program. And I know this because I know Justin and his family very well. They're going to keep playing. They're competitors. They are some of the toughest people I've ever met in my life.
Ball flies out of bounds on the kickoff.
And then you kick the ball out of bounds. Joey, the hardest part of doing these games, Joey, is the coaching side of it, not getting frustrated, Like, we just had success. Keep the ball in bounds.
Instead, they will mark it about the 35-yard line. Well, again, pretty good game, both teams as far as penalties go. That's a 6th one in the game on North and only 2 on Hortonville.
Yeah, honestly, the biggest takeaway I take so far from the game is these are 2 very disciplined teams. Very disciplined teams, don't make a lot of mental mistakes. And I wouldn't expect that. I mean, Coach Colasso is an experienced coach, good coach for Hortonville. And again, like I mentioned, if you know Nick and Josh and Justin Wera and Nate Wera and their family, they are disciplined, they are tough, they're physical, and I would expect his football team to be that way as he continues to try to build, and I'm just going to say it, rebuild that football program.
Again, can't say it enough, too. Just all the injuries that they have faced this season, that definitely will affect you.
And they're playing into the fourth quarter. They scored in the fourth quarter. They didn't quit.
There's Springstro again. He's gotten the load of the carries ever since the second stringers have come in at halftime, and he gets a few more yards here.
Joey, and I hope what people notice if they're watching at home and they're seeing a bunch of numbers that they didn't expect to see, and parents that are in the crowd watching this game, I mean, these coaches are committed to developing their programs and the long-term success of their programs, because there are a lot of kids out on that field right now that weren't playing earlier in the game. And North has no reason not to just leave their starters in and just keep trying to, come back. But there are numbers out there we haven't seen until right now.
3rd and 6. Springstro again the carry. And tackled in on the tackle, Ray McCann, who forced that fumble and scooped it up earlier. Well, he's having a good couple of drives here.
Yeah, and as you're building a program or you have an established program like Hortonville, I think what people don't understand if they haven't coached before or haven't played is these reps for the younger players under the lights in a varsity game, especially in a big stadium like this, these are reps that are going to benefit them and the program long term.
And so with about a minute left to play, we will punt this one away. High floater. Lets it bounce. And they'll tap it. Still no whistle, but now there is. Even though the clock will not stop either way. They will mark it on the 22-yard line. And that's where North will come out. Under 40 seconds left to play. Are they going to rush out there and try and get a play off or just let this go? That's a big question. They got time if they want to.
The clock's running. Yeah. So for me, I'm telling my kids I love them. I appreciate their effort. I'm glad that they kept playing. Let's go inside. Let's get some hot chocolate after the game.
Like they're going to run out and try and get one.
Probably get one. Maybe you design a nice little trick play here and let a kid touch a ball who normally doesn't.
See if they do. Under 10 seconds. I wonder if they are even looking at that clock.
I don't think they are.
And do they take a timeout? Somebody took a timeout with 2 seconds left. Hortonville takes a timeout.
Coach Colasso called timeout, and he ran a player in there. And I don't know, but everyone started cheering. And it looks like number 80. It's hard to tell the number, but I don't see a number 80 on the roster. So I don't know, but the sideline started cheering when they ran the player in.
Yeah, I don't have an 80. On theirs, yes. Aiden Leist.
Okay.
5'11" and a sophomore.
Oh, I got him as number 84 on my roster. I must have an old one. We must have got him from a different box, apparently, before the game. Been announcing the game, and I had the Lourdes roster. No, just kidding.
Speaking of Lourdes, they're coming up next.
They're next, right.
Let's call
right,
a segue in the
right.
business. Nice job. You're getting the hang of this.
I'm trying.
One last play for this one.
Hook and ladder. Oh.
No. That is how this one is going to come to an end. All Hortonville here this evening as they win it by a final score of 49-7 as Hortonville improving now to 6-1 on the season with the victory, and now 0-7 for Oshkosh North. Last words here before we sign off of game number 1 here, John Dinsey.
You know, Hortonville obviously is a really talented team. The record indicates that. Their only loss is to Fond du Lac. For me, watching them live, their skilled position players are even better than I thought they would be. Offensively, they're loaded. They're going to give teams matchup problems, especially if teams choose to not play too high safeties and to play one-on-one man coverage. They're going to be hard to defend. And defensively, the story that no one is going to talk about with Hortonville is their 3 linebackers are studs. Absolute studs. It is hard to run the ball against them. Man, I don't want to play them in the playoffs, Joey. In Oshkosh North, tough and will continue to play. They've battled a ton of adversity. They have a lot of injuries. And a Justin Wera football team is going to be tough and is going to play 48 minutes. And that's what we saw tonight. Regardless of the score, they kept playing.
Just popped up both of their upcoming schedules as we get down to it. Only 2 games left now for both of these teams. All right, that is going to do it for our broadcast here. Stay tuned, though. Coming up next, we've got game 2 of our doubleheader here this evening in Oshkosh. The Hilltoppers of Cambria-Friesland are in town to take on Lourdes. And Lourdes coming in undefeated at 6-0. Cambria-Friesland at 3-3. Not too exactly sure now on the time because of the running clock here. Usually it's been about an 8 or 8:15 start, but right now being only 6:45, we'll check and see exactly when they want to start this game up. But just check back in. I'm gonna guess within about an hour would be a total guess.
Between like 7:45, 8:15,
yes,
right?
let's plan on about 7:45. But again, we will check on that and make sure that is right. But check back in about 7:30 or 7:45 just to see if we are up and running just yet. This is all made possible by our friends at Fox Communities Credit Union, Myron Construction, Creative Imprints, and Julian Strategic Alliance Group. We want to thank them for sponsoring high school football and basketball all season long on our video stream Games of the Week here this evening. Adam, the cameraman, John Dinsey, my partner. I am Joey D, bidding you farewell for now. Again, check back in about 45 minutes or an hour and see if we are up and running for game number 2. We will see you then. Final score in game 1, Hortonville 49, Oshkosh North 7. For now, we will see you later on.
When you're looking for a cutting-edge local company to produce your creative screen